Alton Towers, Living the Childhood Dream, Part 2. In Part 1 we covered the months of January, February and March. If you haven't seen Part 1 yet, as always I will leave a link for it in the top right hand corner, which should pop up any moment about now, so do go and check out Part 1 if you haven't seen it yet. By the way, moving on into Part 2 now, and yeah, here we go. June 2020, the first easing of lockdown. 3 months had pretty much passed since Boris ordered the UK to go into full lockdown. My 21st birthday in May had passed too, but this was probably the happiest moment of my personal lockdown. Alton Towers had reopened, albeit the gardens only. But it was a wonderful opportunity to get back into the towers and explore the beautiful gardens. The moment myself and my dad stepped through the turnstiles the first time we visited Alton Towers this year was really magical and emotional. I was finally back. I was finally home. Even though no rides were operating, I finally felt a sense of belonging again. I walked past my office down Tower Street, knowing that one day I would be back in that office delivering the magic as I was back in March. But I knew that I had to be patient and wait for the announcement from the government about the reopening of theme parks. Our visits to the Alton Towers gardens were really peaceful and quiet, which I really loved. We would have our lunches in the Alton Towers gardens, which was so lovely. I would have a nice sausage roll along with a bag of Walker's cheese and onion crisps and a bottle of pop, usually cherry coke or Dr Pepper. We had about 5 visits to the Alton Towers gardens. 2 were with my dad, 1 was with my sister, 1 was with both my dad and my mum, and finally the other one was with my mum. And now the countdown was on to the reopening of Alton Towers. Ooh. Okay, I won't do that again. Anyway, moving on into the next month. July 2020, back to business / back to fun. First of all, let's rewind to the 23rd of June 2020. On this day, I was visiting the Alton Towers gardens with my mum. We had just sat down for lunch in the gardens when I looked at my phone, went on Facebook and saw that Boris himself announced that theme parks could reopen on the 4th of July. At this moment in time, I almost felt like I was going to cheer really loudly, but I didn't want to ruin the peace of the gardens, so let's leave it there. So it was confirmed that theme parks could reopen on the 4th of July. Sunday the 5th of July 2020. The day had finally arrived. Woohoo! The wait was over. After 4 months of lockdown, it was time to get back to Alton Towers and experience the awesome rides and attractions once again, albeit with a bit of a difference, with face masks. I knew that I had to buy an Alton Towers face mask. It just had to be done. The first ride of the day, which was Nemesis, felt so emotional and so unique. I almost felt tears dropping down my face during the ride. It was that emotional. Nonetheless, it was so good to be able to get back to Alton Towers as a guest and enjoy those rides again. The wait for Alton Towers to reopen was definitely worth the wait. Monday the 6th of July 2020. 111 days had passed since my last shift at Alton Towers before the coronavirus pandemic struck. Now it was finally the time to get back to business for the Product Excellence team. Walking through those doors and into the Prodex office for the first time was something special. Seeing all the familiar faces for the first time since my last shift before the pandemic struck was something special. I was finally home again. Now, for the first 10 minutes or so, I felt really anxious and really nervous, but after those 10 minutes, it felt like I had never left. I think it was understandable to feel a bit anxious, given that it had been a long time since my last ship. So there we go. The month of July, I got to return to Alton Towers, both as a guest and an employee. And let me tell you guys, it was really special returning to Alton Towers, and it really meant a lot to me. So that I think really returning to Alton Towers, both as a guest and employee, has got to be my main highlight of the year. Anyway, moving on into the next month. September 2020, Bier und Bratwurst. Over 2 months had passed since I returned to my dream job, and now it was time for the Alton Towers Oktoberfest event to begin. Woo! Sehr good! Thursday the 10th of October, staff preview night. It was time for the Oktoberfest staff preview night. The staff preview night was so chilled and relaxed, and most of all, I spent it with the best people that night. Yes, I am looking at you, Lou, James, Matt, and my dad, of course. The beer that night was the best highlight. Of course, it had to be the best highlight. It's beer. Although it was a shame that we missed out on a nighttime ride on Wicker Man. So I don't think I told you this, guys, but when I went to the Oktoberfest staff preview, after I had about 2 or 3 beers, myself, Lou, and James, and my dad, of course, we went over to Wicker Man, but we found out that it had closed for the night, and it was a bit of a disappointment, but hey ho, what can you do about it? Anyway, moving on into the next month. October 2020, Frights and Chills. Thursday the 8th of October 2020, Scarefest staff preview night. Just under a month had passed since the Oktoberfest staff preview, and I was very much looking forward to the Alton Towers Scarefest staff preview night. This was a very different night to the Oktoberfest preview night, as on the Oktoberfest preview night, families and friends could attend. But for the Scarefest preview night, it was for staff only. Woohoo! So myself, Lou, James, Jack, Emma, Ellen, Tez and Stacey attended the Scarefest staff preview, and we really had a chilling and spooky time previewing the scare mazes. We did all mazes, plus myself, Lou and James did Freak Show Toxic Junkyard 3 more times after the first time we did it. It was such a fun night, and it really reminded me of how I work with some amazing people at Alton Towers, so it's pretty much a shout out to the Product Excellence team, isn't it? Friday the 9th of October 2020, the first day of Scarefest. Just a little over 24 hours later after the Scarefest staff preview ended, I descended onto the park for the first day of the 2020 Scarefest event. This time it was myself and my dad to experience the first day of Scarefest, and just like the preview night, it was really good. We really enjoyed ourselves in the scare mazes, although I wish I could do the scare mazes as many times as I like, just like I did for the preview night. So again, I don't think I told you this, guys, but for the Scarefest staff preview nights, you could do the mazes as many times as you wanted. So like, obviously, me, Lou and James, we did Freak Show Toxic Junkyard 4 times. Well, we did it 3 consecutive times because like we just kept going around. It was amazing. But yeah, Scarefest 2020, despite the social distancing measures, was really good this year. Moving on to the final month of the 2020 season, and also my story of the 2020 season, Alton Towers Living a Childhood Dream. November 2020, the end of the season. The end of the season was quickly approaching until Lockdown 2.0. Really? We had to go into another lockdown. And because of this, the 2020 season got cut short to Wednesday the 4th of November. I had my final 2 shifts on the Monday and Tuesday. Leaving the products office on the Tuesday was quite sad, but in the end, I smiled because it happened. My childhood dream had finally come true after all these years. All those years of visiting Alton Towers as a child and dreaming of working at such a wonderful and magical place. No one could have anticipated that this season would be such a crazy one. But you know what? I enjoyed every single moment of this season, from finding out I got my dream job right through to the end of the season. Every moment was nothing but pure magic. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I lived my childhood dream at Alton Towers in 2020. And there we have it, guys. That is my story of the 2020 season and the story of how I lived my childhood dream at Alton Towers. So, I hope you personally enjoyed it. I've personally enjoyed making this video because this means something personal to me, and it's very close to my heart. And you know, I wanted to share my first ever season of working at Alton Towers, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. But mostly, I want to thank my amazing products team. You know, each and every single one of you have been amazing to me, and you all mean the world to me. You know, the team I work with, honestly guys, if you met them, they're literally the nicest people in the world. They're so down to earth, so lovely, so friendly. And most of all, they're my second family. So, there we go. Thank you to my products team for making my first ever season working at Alton Towers the best one ever. And here's to the 2021 season, I guess. So guys, if you did enjoy this two-part story, then please give part 2 a like, and then hop over to part 1 and give that a like because it really helps the channel out. If you would like to become part of the Theme Park Fans family, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. As always, our Facebook page link is in the description below, so please go check that out and give it a like. I'm not too sure when the next video is going to be coming out because I think this video will probably come out on either on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know yet, but do keep an eye out for the next video. It'll literally come out as and when, you know, because I need to come up with a new video idea. And yeah, and that's it, guys. Alton Towers, I finally got to live the childhood dream. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.